This is actually just a story of a mom choosing not to accept their child for who they are. It's a wonderful day in the homiehood, a wonderful day for a homie. Won't you be my homie to Taro? Another story about the trans moral panic that is striking through the hearts of reactionaries all over the world, especially in southern United States. Bari Weiss has released, I don't know, something on her website via some other transphobic author to try and stoke the fires of this moral panic. Now, this is really important because it kind of just goes to show how manufactured this panic and the media surrounding it really is, right? So this person, this is their online avatar. I believe their name is Alex. They have come out to speak about an article that was written about their mother. Now, Alex is a trans person, and their mother was not full-throatedly in support of their transition. And Bari Weiss and this other author, Emily Yoffe, Ifo, I don't know how to say it. But Barry and Emily, they've come out with this article saying that this mother, quote unquote, felt bullied into their child receiving gender affirming care. And it's just like, well, you know what? Like, it's really actually not up to a single parent. And yeah, maybe they're gonna have some feelings about it, but it's also about the person who is going under this process of transitioning and choosing that for themselves. So here's an article in the Daily Dot that is just kind of highlighting this issue. The article written by Emily Yoffe or whatever conceals the teen's identity by calling them Casey. But Alex shared on Twitter that they want to respond to the story and make sure their voice is fully heard. So, I mean, this is kind of the great part about this is because it's empowering someone to speak up about their own experience. Yoffe's reporting, which misgenders Alex by using he/him pronouns. Wow, very professional. Also describes a decline in Alex's mental health and school performance after they got the arm implant. Okay, I'm actually not sure what the arm implant is. Let's see. A puberty blocker in the form of an arm implant. Okay, this is a consentingly received implants called Suprelin, aptly named, I suppose, because it suppresses the hormones of puberty. Now, the thing is, puberty blockers are really safe. What puberty blockers do, as the name may give away, is that it blocks puberty, and you have to think, if you are seeking to affirm your gender, is it going to be harder before puberty or after you've already gone through puberty? Obviously, if you're able to stop the process, your puberty is essentially you transitioning from a child to an adult. And if you identify as like a man or a woman, you're going to want to complete that transition in the way that is affirming for your gender identity. A lot of people just can't wrap their minds around this, but if you go through puberty in the way that you does not affirm your identity, it's going to be much more difficult from a medical point of view in order to then transition from a fully grown person with male post-puberty features. It's going to be harder for you to transition from that adult into another type of adult. And again, gender is a social construct. It's the reason that we as young children in the 90s played with action figures, or we played with dolls, depending on what our gender identity was. I was literally joking with someone the other day how they played with Polly Pocket because they were a girl, or their parents felt as though they are a girl, so they played with Polly Pocket, and myself and others, because we are boys, played with Mad Max or whatever, Mini Max. What I forget what his name was, but anyways, the boy version of Polly Pocket. It was literally the exact same toy from the exact same company. And then like these same people will tell you gender is not a social construct. It is. It absolutely is. Within a semester, Casey went from all A's and B's to a report card dotted with D's and F's. Yoffe writes, many days, okay, misgendering here, found it impossible to get out of bed. Alex's largest issue with the Free Press article, as explained in their tweets, is that Yoffe didn't take their concerns about her reporting into consideration before the article was published. Further, Yoffe allegedly told Alex that they had no say in whether or not the article was published. Journalism at its finest here, not even getting permission from the person who the article is about. So let's take a look here at Alex's tweet thread. They probably, okay, wow, they have like 8,000 followers. And they've just reactivated their Twitter account here to respond to this story and make sure their voice is fully heard. This is Alex saying, I am Casey. And just to make sure you're not confused, Casey is the pseudonym that was used in the article to protect their identity as a minor. But Alex obviously has outed their real identity here. So I think it's safe to just call them Alex. My real name is Alex, but my mom decided it would be best to hide it for anonymity. But this is my story, not hers. This is not the Free Press's story. About a week ago, my mom contacted Emily Yoffe with my knowledge and told her what was supposed to be our story. She expressed her frustration with the transgender clinic at Washington University, many of which are false perceptions that my mom has about the doctors and clinic. I learned of this article through my mom over the phone when she asked if it was okay that the Free Press published the article. I said that I wanted to read it first. When I read the draft, I was disgusted with what the reporter and my mom had made my experience out to be. Upon interviewing Emily Yoffe myself, I was told that I had no say in whether or not the article was published. I asked if my consent was required to publish the article, and the reporter told me that's not how these things work. So, I mean, if you're a real journalist, it might be how things work. But clearly what they have aimed to do here is not real journalism. Now, Bari Weiss was also somebody who was caught up in the, what is it called? The Twitter files. So they've worked at the behest of Elon, who also has very questionable views about trans people. Emma Vigeland of the Minority Report. Why am I blanking on this? I think it's Majority Report, right? Barry, is it good journalism to sympathetically highlight the experience of a parent that sent their child to conversion therapy, excluding the perspective of the victimized child? Because that's the equivalent of what your disgusting site just did. So Emma Vigeland coming in here with the correct based take, and Alex also chiming in to present their own thread here. So honestly wish that there was more to the thread. Oh, there is. After she had edited the article and published it, I had not found this out until 20 hours later. I was extremely frustrated. The article makes it out that my mother had no say in the implant of Supprelin. This is completely false. My mother claims that she was pressured into saying yes by the doctors. The big issue they point out is that the doctors quoted suicide statistics in transgender adolescents. I do not deny that these statistics were quoted, but I also sustain that the doctors didn't say that I was at substantial risk of this. So, Alex themselves was not at substantial risk of being suicidal. So, that is kind of important context for the article. The article mentions that my grades dropped from A's and B's to D's and F's in a semester. This is a completely exaggerated statement. My grades were on a steady decline since 2020 due to unrelated mental health concerns. Speaking of mental health, the article claims that my mental health issues can be attributed to the Prelin implant. However, my personal experience shows that this is not the case. Since COVID 19, my mental health has been declining and it was already an issue. I was in counseling with the Washington University Transgender Care Center, in which I was treated amazingly by my counselor. She was a friend to me and offered a great amount of support. This was taken away when my mom revoked consent for the Suprelin. Oh my goodness. After she revoked consent, my father and I, along with the university, attempted to set up a meeting with my mom. She did not attend this meeting, claiming that she was not contacted. Later, she admitted that she was. So, really sad. This is actually just a story of a mom choosing not to accept their child for who they are. And as this tweet thread points out, they didn't even show up to the meeting with their own child to discuss what is going on, whether their own child should seek this gender affirming care that they wanted. Kudos to the father, honestly. Based dad moment here for supporting their child in this way. Really, really, actually great to see this story. Great to see how this story of Bari Weiss being an absolute ghoul, getting this flipped around, and a 16-year-old coming and standing up for themselves in this fantastic way. This tweet that has been seen by 25 million people. Bari Weiss here, you can see how much of a ghoul they are. The Free Press, the witch trials of J.K. Rowling. Okay, as if, all right, like it's a witch hunt of their own imagination. They put more imagination into making J.K. Rowling a witch than they ever put into making Harry Potter a wizard. So, here's the article we just read, and Dear Diary, this is Alex once more. Today I successfully ratioed Bari Weiss. It was terrifying, and I was at risk of a lot of backlash. However, the fact that it happened is hilarious. I'm glad I got to share the real story, and I won't let anyone talk over me ever. Signed, Alex. Absolutely based tweet right here. You love to see trans people winning. Why not make sure you don't miss the next video by liking, commenting, subscribing, and ringing the bell? Thank you so much for watching. It's my homie, too, Taro. Peace.